Imagine living in a world where every financial door remains tightly closed to you. No loans, no credit cards, and even renting an apartment becomes a challenge. This is not some dystopian future, but a reality for many who have no credit score at all. You might be wondering, is it really possible to have no credit score? The answer is yes, and the reasons behind this, as well as the implications, are more fascinating and complex than you might expect. First, let's unravel the mystery of what a credit score is and why it's so pivotal in modern financial systems. A credit score is a numerical representation of your creditworthiness, calculated based on your credit history. Major credit bureaus, such as Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, gather data about your borrowing and repayment habits to generate this score. It influences lenders' decisions on whether to offer you credit, how much credit to extend, and at what interest rate. But here's the kicker: to have a credit score, you need a credit history. If you've never taken out a loan, never had a credit card, or never engaged in any financial activity reported to the credit bureaus, you effectively have no credit history. No history means no data, and no data means no credit score. This phenomenon is known as being credit invisible, and it affects millions of people across various demographics. Consider young adults, for example. Fresh out of school or still in college, many haven't yet had the opportunity or the need to use credit. They're starting their financial journeys without any borrowing background, making them prime candidates for having no credit score. Then, there are new immigrants who, despite possibly having robust credit histories in their home countries, arrive in a new country with a clean slate as far as the local credit bureaus are concerned. The elderly can also be credit invisible, especially those who've long since paid off their mortgages and live debt-free, having closed any old credit accounts. Being credit invisible can pose significant challenges. In our increasingly credit-reliant society, not having a credit score can make life unexpectedly difficult. Need a car loan to get to work? Lenders might be wary of offering you one. Looking to rent an apartment? Many landlords run credit checks as part of the application process. Even some job applications include a credit check as a part of the vetting process. Without a credit score, you're often viewed as a financial unknown, which translates to a higher risk in the eyes of lenders and other decision-makers. So, how do people end up with no credit score? And what can be done about it? The journey to being credit invisible often begins with an avoidance of credit. Perhaps you've always paid for everything in cash or debit, believing it's the best way to avoid debt. While this approach keeps you debt-free, it also keeps you credit-free. Without engaging in credit activities that get reported to the bureaus, you remain off their radar. Interestingly, being credit invisible isn't just about never having had credit. Sometimes, it's about not having recent credit activity. Credit bureaus typically require at least one account that's been active in the last 6 months to generate a score. If you've had credit in the past but haven't used it recently, you could slip back into credit invisibility. But here's where it gets engaging. The story doesn't end with you being credit invisible. There are strategic steps you can take to build a credit history from scratch and emerge from the shadows into the light of creditworthiness. One of the simplest ways to start is by applying for a secured credit card. This type of card requires a cash deposit that serves as collateral and usually matches your credit limit. Using a secured credit card responsibly, by making small purchases and paying off the balance in full each month, can quickly build positive credit history. Over time, this responsible use will be reported to the credit bureaus, and you'll begin to see a credit score emerge. Another method is to become an authorized user on someone else's credit card. If you have a family member or close friend with good credit, they can add you to their account. You don't need to use the card for this strategy to work. The account's history and activity will appear on your credit report, helping to establish your creditworthiness by proxy. For those who are already paying rent reporting services can be a game changer. Normally, rent payments don't impact your credit score. However, some services will report your rent payments to the credit bureaus, allowing you to build credit through something you're already doing. This can be particularly useful for young adults or new immigrants who might not have other forms of credit. Credit builder loans, offered by some banks and credit unions, are another fantastic tool. These are small loans specifically designed to help people build credit. The loan amount is held in a savings account while you make payments. Once the loan is fully paid off, the funds are released to you, and your on-time payments are reported to the credit bureaus. Additionally, using alternative data is an emerging trend. Some financial institutions and fintech companies are looking beyond traditional credit reports to assess creditworthiness. They might consider factors like your payment history with utilities, phone bills, or even subscription services. While this approach is still gaining traction, it represents a promising shift towards more inclusive credit assessment. Understanding and managing credit might seem daunting, but financial education can make a significant difference. There are numerous resources available, from online courses to counseling services, designed to help you navigate the complexities of credit. Educating yourself about how credit works, what impacts your score, and how to build and maintain good credit can set you on a path to financial empowerment. Maintaining good credit behavior once you've established a score is crucial. This includes paying your bills on time, keeping your credit card balances low, and not applying for too much new credit at once. Regularly checking your credit report for errors and disputing any inaccuracies is also a key part of maintaining a healthy credit profile. In a broader context, policymakers and advocates are working to address the challenges faced by the credit invisible. Efforts to include more diverse data in credit reporting and to educate consumers about credit are steps in the right direction. Creating a more inclusive financial system means recognizing that traditional credit scores aren't the only indicators of financial responsibility. To wrap it all up, while it is indeed possible to have no credit score, it's a situation that can be changed with deliberate and informed actions. The journey from being credit invisible to having a robust credit profile involves understanding the importance of credit, engaging in activities that build credit history, and maintaining good credit habits. By taking these steps, you can unlock the many doors that a good credit score opens, from securing loans and renting apartments to enjoying lower interest rates and better financial opportunities. So, if you or someone you know is living in the shadows of credit invisibility, take heart. The path to building a credit score is clear, navigable, and within your reach. By embracing the tools and strategies available, you can step into the light of financial inclusion and empowerment, transforming the narrative from one of exclusion to one of opportunity and growth.